Hello from this beautiful place. Today's video is going to be about people and what they think of us. I got a lot of requests on Instagram to talk about people pleasing, and I feel like that goes with this. So, being a person who has shared a lot of my life and my process on the internet, and who also has social anxiety, and oftentimes gets tripped up on thinking about, oh, I wonder what they're thinking of me. I feel like I got a lot to say about this one. There was a period in my life where a comment on the internet would upset me, or if somebody said, I don't like that you said that, or I don't like you, it would upset me. Thankfully, I have done a lot of work, and I've gotten to the place where sometimes my clients don't always like what I have to say. Sometimes my clients don't like me, and my job is not to be liked, it's to be helpful. And sometimes we gotta say things that cause friction and with love, tell the truth, but that's not always received in a likable way. And that's okay. How did I get there? It's the most important part. So I really had to work on, guess what the word I'm gonna say is, if you follow me enough, you're gonna know, confidence! I had to become so confident in how I am showing up in the world that even if somebody doesn't like it, I am okay with that. And that looks like being at peace with who I am and what I am doing. I remember a lot of times I was hesitant to share certain things with Steve because I wasn't always confident in myself. There was a lot of ways and I showed up very, very short as a caregiver. But then my confidence in that story being important overruled my confidence in myself, because there was a lot of other caregivers looking up to me, putting me on a pedestal, thinking I never did anything wrong, which is like, woo, couldn't be further from the truth, right? I'm not perfect, and I had to get really comfortable sharing the vulnerable, icky parts of myself. And that actually helped me become more confident, because the more I started to say, you know, this is who I am, all of me. Yes, I am lovely and caring and generous and thoughtful, but I'm also sometimes petty. I get upset when I don't get my own way. Sometimes, if I don't get enough sleep, I can be on edge, right? Learning to love that part of me means that even if somebody's like, ooh, you're yucky, I can say, well, that part of me might have been yucky, but me as a whole, no, I'm not. I think what the most important thing is to remember, anxiety is a liar, and especially if you have social anxiety, it's gonna make you feel like, ooh, I was cringy. No, you weren't. And to be fair, no one's even thinking about it. You're not cringy, and we gotta remember that anxiety lies to us. And I brush my teeth each night and watch as I spit it all out, like the cringe go down the drain, so I don't carry that negative going to bed. I wake up in the morning and I talk to myself in the mirror being like, you are going to show up the best you can today, and that's all you can do, and that's all you can ask for, and you have to be at peace with that, right? And at the end of the day, on my drive home, I say 5 things I liked about how I showed up that day. And that way, I am not listening to the only negative wiring in my brain, and I'm actually saying, wait a minute, I did this well. I liked this conversation with this client. I like that I wasn't triggered. I like this A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And just because I now have this new found confidence in myself doesn't mean that sometimes I don't stop and pause when people say things to me, because I feel like we always have moments to grow, and people are here to show us our blind spots. And sometimes I think, does that comment resonate with me? Is it something I need to work on, or is it something that they're projecting on me? And because I'm pretty sure in who I am as a human and how I show up in the world, I can differentiate the two now. Once before, I would be a little just confused by anyone's feedback. And now I can sit with it and say, that's a projection, or that's a blind spot. I'm so grateful they showed me that. But in terms of the people pleasing that people wanted me to talk about, you're never gonna please everybody. Ever. And I remember one time, I love Beyonce, and I remember one time somebody saying to me, you know, there are people out there that don't like Beyonce. And I was like, yeah, of course. So why would I expect everyone to like me? And what did it tell me when I was trying to get everyone to like me? And I'll tell you the answer. I wasn't so sure in who I was. And I needed everyone else's validation to feel okay about myself. I think being self-aware and not wanting to hurt people is a beautiful quality, as long as we know the difference between that and people-pleasing, right? There are sometimes things we have to say that not everyone's going to like. But learning to say the hard truths with love and knowing that this might not be received well, but you have to say it, and allowing yourself that discomfort of possibly not being liked. It's going to open up a whole set of freedom for you, because then you get to be who you are. You get to speak your truth. You get to say, you know what? That didn't feel so great. I don't really like that. And own it and be okay with it. And know that that doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a person. So truthfully, the more you can start to like yourself, the less you're worried if other people like you. The more you can feel like you're living an aligned life with your beliefs and with your values. And you know, you give yourself grace if you're human, the more you will find yourself less afraid about what everyone thinks about you. I think there's a self-forgiveness and like no shame element to this as well, because we're human, we mess up. And so if we're really judgmental on ourselves and we shame ourselves, then we get stuck in that, ooh, I'm not worthy, or I'm cringy, or I have bad qualities to me. And it's like, hey, forgive yourself for your human moments. And yeah, try to do better, but holding unrealistic expectations of yourself isn't gonna make you like yourself anymore. Be kind to yourself, right? Here's the thing about people pleasing. Eventually you're gonna grow resentful. Eventually you're gonna grow that ick feeling, and it's like, sure, you're pleasing the other person, but at what cost to yourself, right? And we can try our best to add goodness to the world and to up people's lives and to increase the energy of the whole collective. But that also means we have to be authentic, and we have to be ourselves, and we have to just act how we truly believe we should show up in the world, not how we think other people think we should show up in the world. I thought I was done with the video until I got here. So this expansive view made me realize that it's really important to remember we are just this tiny, yet very significant and worthy being in this massive universe. If a few people are not happy with you, it's okay. You will find your people. You just will. And the way you do that, be truly you. Be okay with being unliked, because the people who don't like you aren't your people. They're not on the same path as you. They're not in the same vibe as you. They're not in the same belief system as you. It's okay. It's okay. It really is all okay. Hi.